Welcome to La Tarantella by Grassini Family Vineyards. I'm Corinne Mathern from Corinne Mathern Studio, and I can't wait to show you around this beautiful property. Before I show you the interiors, I'd love to show you a little bit more of the exterior landscape. The landscape at La Tarantella is really what inspired the interiors. All of the materials, the gorgeous mauve plaster, all of the handmade terracotta pots, the iron qualities of all of the lighting, all of the landscaping and olive trees, oak trees, and vines are what brought the exterior to be so inspiring for the interior. Some of the parts of the exterior of the home that I love so much is the mauve plaster. It flows throughout the home. It creates the perfect backdrop to some of these beautiful plant materials that we brought in with landscape designer Arcadia Studios, who's based here in Santa Barbara. We brought in gorgeous Italian terracotta pots to juxtapose against the handmade stone throughout the motor court. The sconces on the exterior of the home were salvaged from the Libero Studio renovation, and they were originally designed by Luda Maria Riggs. She's a well-known architect here in Santa Barbara. If you look from this area of the home and just take in the expansiveness of the entry, the mission-style doors are so gorgeous and create such an amazing entry to the home. The cypress trees in the back are reminiscent of Old World Italy, as are all of the gorgeous olive trees, oak trees, and other plantings throughout the home. So when you enter the property, you drive in through this gorgeous long driveway, all gravel fill like Old World Italy. You go through rosemary bushes, past a beautiful limestone bird bath with birds chirping and sitting in, having a beautiful day. And you enter this area that flows into the motor court and eventually into the entry of the home. This beautiful archway didn't need to necessarily be done in the home, but it creates such an incredible entry when you're coming in that feels really welcoming and just extremely special, like the rest of the home that I can't wait to show you. So La Tarantella by Grassini Family Vineyards is a full-service wedding and event venue. Originally, it was built as a private property for a family. So you have that feel throughout the home. When you walk in, it feels like a family home. And that's really what Grassini Family and La Tarantella want you to feel. They want you to feel welcome. They want you to feel at home. They want you to bring your friends. They want you to bring your family. They want you to know that you're welcome and that the beauty of the property is for you to take in. So if you look out through the field here, you'll see olives planted in the background. You'll see a beautiful space here around an oak tree and additional plantings throughout. These are all areas that are open for weddings, corporate events, etc. I'll show you some more of the grounds a little bit later, but let's go check out the inside. So this is the courtyard for the home. It houses beautiful saltillo tile that were imported from Mexico and access to each one of the rooms. So we have a couple of bedrooms. We have a suite where brides and grooms are able to get ready for their wedding. There's primary bedroom to the side, which is often used as a space for brides to get ready with all of their friends. And then the living room and the dining room are really the heart of the home. This is oftentimes where parties are thrown. So they'll have large events here where the entire space is activated, have bars and drinks and food and everything, and it's really becomes alive. So La Tarantella was built to be a active space. It's really a space where everybody can bring their friends and family and have a beautiful party in the heart of Santa Ynez Valley. So as you're in the courtyard, there's so many gorgeous views, whether you're looking out to the front of the home, onto the tops of the mountains where they've planted some vines beyond, more oak trees, beautiful hawks and wildlife in the background, to this side of the property where you see the cypress peeking up and giving glimpses of that old world Italy feeling that is so prevalent through the home. So the Santa Ynez Valley is really known now as wine country. Previously it wasn't, and now after about 20 years of wine being developed here, it's really a destination point. La Tarantella has this beautiful courtyard that's, when you walk in, it feels very private, elegant, and calm. This space makes you feel really at home. From the exterior coziness, you walk into this beautiful living room with the volumes that you can't even imagine, built of these incredible beams. Everything in the home is natural materials, so we really brought the exterior to the interior. Saltillo tiles, clay, wood, metal, the plaster, all of those materials really come wrap into the inside, so it feels like it's one and the same. The living room is one of my favorite spots. So everything in the home was designed in 5 months. They had a wedding booked and we had to book it. So anything that you see was either custom or vintage for the most part. This is an oak table that we custom designed for the home. This is a beautiful vessel from one of my favorite shops in Los Angeles, JF Chen. This is Beverly Morrison. Beautiful vessel that doesn't need any sort of flower or anything in it. It just stands alone as a beautiful piece. This fireplace was original to the home. This is sort of how they built the home. They pulled in all of these incredible elements that they sourced from different areas of Italy and France and Spain, and that's what they built the home around. So this fireplace is hundreds of years old. When placed in this home, it gives that depth to the home that makes it feel like it was built 100 years ago as well. When we furnished this space, we wanted to do the same. So a lot of what we brought in were pieces that were reclaimed. These Tabarca tile tables, these are all custom, both of these. These were reclaimed from the owner's home. It was originally a kitchen backsplash. We put them in the home flooded, so they had to demolish them, so we took them and we placed them into these beautiful oak tile tables. All of the sofas are custom made for the home, the rugs, etc. Any of these pieces that you see, these really special chairs, these were all imported as well. So the beautiful Doug fir on the ceilings, married with the beautiful limestone of the fireplace, are some of the materials that inspired the entire home. Throughout the home, you'll see those materials repeated, whether it's through the interiors, brought into the exteriors. Anywhere you look, there's beautiful wood and patinaed stone. Second part of the living room is a place to sit and just have a nice glass of wine and interact with a couple of people, pick up a book, enjoy your space here. So we have a piano here for somebody to sit down and just enjoy their time and play. I wish I could play for you. I know maybe a couple songs you'd be embarrassed for me to play, but it's a beautiful space to enjoy a glass of wine with friends and family. So now that I've shown you the living room, I'd love to show you the dining room. So we come through these beautiful walnut columns. These were also brought in from France. I believe they're 18th century. The detail on them is incredible. The stone base, hand chiseled, and the wood carved tops are beautiful. That really inspired these pieces here. So this is a 15-foot long oak custom table done for this space. We brought in Corinne Momville, he's a Swedish designer, chairs. I think these are so gorgeous and sculptural. This whole table is a space for 12 people to come, sit, hang out with friends and family, enjoy the space, have a glass of wine by the fire, and then we have this incredible Wolf stove where chefs come in and perform and have an incredible meal cooked for our guests right here. Next to the stove is solid blocks of limestone, integrated limestone sinks, new oak cabinetry with beautiful knobs, and just a really lovely addition to the dining space. One of my favorite aspects of the home are the ceilings. The ceilings are incredible Doug fir beams. All of them were purchased for $1. The original contractor demoed a building in San Francisco, and in order to get the beams, he said he would do it for $1 and they would give him all of the beams. The demo was extensive, which is why he only charged them $1, because he wanted these incredible beams. So you can see them throughout the dining room here and then through the living room as well. I can't wait to show you the lounge where the beam system is even more incredible. The way that the fireplaces work in every room, I think has been done really beautifully. The massiveness of this fireplace has to be juxtaposed with a ceiling volume like this and a ceiling treatment like this. Without the two together, this room wouldn't be as magnificent. So I think the architect did a really beautiful job here. We brought in these beautiful cozy chairs, a couple of antique vessels. These are Mexican tables and antiques, and throughout the dining room, other antiques and books, and some collected from the family's heirlooms. Adjacent to the living room and dining room is one of my favorite rooms, and it happens to be a bathroom. It's a powder room that we bathed in a Benjamin Moore light green. We did this insane custom sink, which is my favorite piece in the whole home. It's a solid block of limestone. We paired it with Waterworks faucets and then just a couple of other accessories. The mirror is vintage. The light is one of my favorite Rose Uniac lights. I love the draperies in here. This room is a room that I would love to spend a lot of time in. It's just one of my favorite rooms. So beyond the living room is another one of my favorite rooms. This is what we call the lounge. This is where we end the night with a glass of Cabernet Sauvignon or a glass of Scotch. I like mine neat, no ice. The ceilings in here are so inspiring. Again, similar to the living room and dining room, the ceilings are what really makes the space. The geometry of how they figured this out is beyond me, how the original architects drew this out and planned it, but I just think it's such a stunning part of the space. This is actually a tower that is above, which I'll show you in a little while. We swathed this entire room in dark blue, Benjamin Moore. We wanted it to be sort of like a moody spot that you ended the night with. We brought in more vintage, as I noted before, and we created a lot of custom items through the space. The sofa is one of my favorite designers, French designers from the 1960s, Guillaume Chabron. We paired their sofa recovered with a gorgeous tile table, one of my favorite pieces to design. These are all new terracotta tiles and then cased in an iron leg. These also are vintage chairs that we brought in, and I think the backdrop of another one of these incredible limestone fireplaces is just gorgeous. The scale of this fireplace is perfect for the room. The ceilings really dictate the power of the room, and then this fireplace is just like a little bit of a quiet design choice. It feels like very understated and just the perfect balance in the room. This here is the bar. So Grassini Family Vineyards is Bordeaux style wine. These are a couple of their Cabernet Sauvignons that I love having in this dark blue, moody, end of the night space. This is where they do all of their tastings. If you have a private event here, or if you have a wedding, they will bring you here and you can taste through all of their gorgeous wines. Every room in the house has a gorgeous view. So throughout here, we see the exterior vineyards. Throughout the back space, we see all of the gorgeous rosemary and beyond to the Grassini family vineyards. This space is an extension of the lounge. This is what we call the tower. Why I love this space so much is because it gives you a completely different view of the entire property. You get to get up all the way up into the clouds and see the entire vineyard from this viewpoint. The space has a sweet little sitting area where you can take a minute. It also has a little desk where you can be inspired and pick up a book. But my favorite spot is this moment here, where you can stand out and look over the entire vineyard. So now that I've shown you most of the interiors, we still have the primary left, but I couldn't wait to show you the exterior. One of the most beautiful parts of it is this gorgeous pool overlooking the vineyards. The vineyards just had bud break a couple weeks ago, so you get to see how beautiful they become. In a couple of months, it'll just be blooming. The vines will be full and gorgeous, but for now, just a little bit of bud break, getting ready to sprout. So heated pool in the back, big cocktail parties back here. I've been to weddings back here with hundreds of people, and it's just an incredible spot. I've never seen anybody fall in the pool yet. I'm sure it will happen, knock on wood, one of these days. But so far, so good. So the grounds have this meandering path all throughout. So anywhere you go, there's always sort of a beautiful pathway to another gorgeous spot to land. So here we have the pool, we have a couple of vintage sets that we brought in, and a couple of chaises to lounge by the pool. This is another beautiful view of the home. From here, what you see is the back of the home. So behind you are the incredible vineyards and the incredible oak trees and olive trees. What I love about this view is that you get the pink plaster, the mauve plaster throughout. The traditional shutters paired with the iron sconces throughout the home are such a beautiful visual from here. There's nothing like it in the wine country in Santa Ynez. So the home has this real playfulness to it. I think that comes from the mauve plaster and also the name La Tarantella. It feels elegant, it feels inviting, but it has such a fun name and a fun vibe to it. So now I'm going to show you where most of the event spaces are, all throughout the exterior, but the bonus is a private entry to the primary bedroom. So this is the beautiful tower, the view that we were looking out over the vineyards to the Figueroa Mountains here. So after we followed the pathway from the pool, this is the private entry to the primary. There's a couple of entries. There you can come in through the courtyard. All of the bedrooms are accessible from the courtyard. You can come in through another space in the house, or you can come in, which is my favorite way to enter, through this area here. So this is a private courtyard for the primary. Just has a nice little seating arrangement for to have a little glass of wine at the end of the night. It has a couple of chaises in case you want to lounge a little bit, or you can just enter this beautiful, beautiful room. I want to show you some of my favorite parts of the primary. Again, another gorgeous limestone fireplace, hearth, and surround. This, again, the scale of this room, the ceiling treatment is similar to the dining room, but the scale is smaller. So the ceilings are a little smaller. It's a little bit more of a cozy room than the dining room. It's a little bit more closed in. It feels really private and romantic. We brought in, as a homage to the Bordeaux wines. We brought in some art from a Bordeaux artist, Ash Designs. She custom made all of these plates for us that we mounted above this beautiful limestone fireplace. A couple of custom beautiful Ezio chairs from our collection and a custom center table as well. We needed to make sure that we kept the height of the room and maximized it without bringing in a bed that couldn't withstand the height of the room. So we had this bed custom made. I think it works really beautifully. So the primary bedroom has a couple of beautiful bathrooms off the side. I'd love to show you this space, one of the most elegant spaces, if a bathroom can be elegant, in the entire property. We brought in this gorgeous Italian Cipollino stone throughout the vanity, throughout the bathtub deck, and the entire shower is clad in this stone. Every single detail in it is like a piece of art. When you look at all of the little details of the stone, you can really see different pieces of art in them. It really is a masterpiece. Throughout the tub deck with all of our water monopoly fittings, we brought in the same stone and some sculptural plants. So, shower. I think this space is so stunning. My favorite brand of bath soap, shampoo, and conditioner is Aesop. Absolute favorite. We bring them into almost every project we do with Henry Wilson fittings. Again, the stone tells this incredible story throughout. Every little bit of it talks about how incredible nature is. This is the room parallel to the primary bathroom. It's what we call the dressing room. A lot of guests come in here and this is where they get ready for the day, whether it's an event or they're going out to taste wine in the beautiful Santa Ynez Valley, go to a restaurant, etc. This is where they get ready. So we've designed this to be just a really beautiful space to land. Again, that gorgeous stone with all of the incredible pieces of it, Cipollini Italian stone, and beautiful, kind of fun. There's like that nod to playful Italian. This we brought in is a brutalist vintage mirror paired with rose uniac sconces, and I think this was a very successful room the way that it plays out. So across from the primary bedroom, we have this other beautiful suite. This room is a landing spot for guests. It's oftentimes used as the groom's suite. They come in, they have a glass of wine, they sit, they hang out while everybody else is getting ready. My favorite part of this room is probably this piece of millwork. Often this is stocked with beer, wine, etc. Obsidian quartzite that we brought in. We leathered this stone. I love the feeling of leathered stone. It just has such a natural feel. It takes a beautiful patina and it just, over time, it ages in the way that a home like this should. We brought in antiques and heirlooms from the family, so there's a story that is told throughout the space. These are a couple of spindle stools that we got at one of my favorite antique shops in Los Angeles, paired with a vintage French limestone garden stool. Very playful. Again, that idea of playfulness throughout the home is something that I love. This garden stool is the same material as this limestone hearth. It just has a completely different look. So again, how many fireplaces is that? We have, I think, 5 fireplaces throughout the home. Often on a cold day, like today ended up being, I think the sun's gonna break out, we have these fireplaces roaring, and it just creates such an incredible feel throughout the house. You get the smell of the wood-burning fireplaces, the smoke, and it smells so incredible, and it also just gives a really cozy feeling throughout the house. So here we're exiting the chef's kitchen. It's connected to the backyard where the pool is, etc. I'm going to show you down this meandering path to one of my favorite spots on the property. Happens to be a really gorgeous sculptural oak tree that I've been to weddings where the bride and groom land under for their ceremony, and it's just a really beautiful spot. Come with me. The landscaping throughout was done by Arcadia Studio. They're a landscaper in Santa Barbara that we work with often. The reason I love their work is what they did here is they picked only a handful and they used them in abundance. So it creates this really beautiful sculptural feel throughout the property where we have your rosemary, and we have a lot of rosemary, so it feels like a sculpture. We have lavender, we have a lot of lavender, so it feels like a sculptural aspect. They created all of these gorgeous gravel paths and dirt paths. Every piece of grass that they specified and brought into the property was made to show movement in the landscape. Because it's so still out here, one of the beauties of it is when there's a little bit of wind, there's a little bit of a breeze, you can feel it, but you can also see it. And I think that creates a very artful space, is when you see the wind and you can feel it. Come over here to see one of my favorite oak trees on the planet. The Santa Ynez Valley is known for these incredible 100-year-old oaks. They've been here since before we were. And a lot of them just have incredible sculptural aspects to them. So to me, this is really what inspired the entire home. It's a piece of art in that it's nature and it's an incredible specimen. This here is where I went to my first wedding on the property. I was standing right here, and the peace that you can feel from this tree, it sort of envelops you, is really incredible. So we also have an adjacent guest house on the property. We're converting the guest house to a 2-bedroom that's going to be available for vacation rental, which is very exciting. To be able to stay on this property and experience the property from day to night is going to be a spiritual experience. In front of the guest house, we planted some vines. These vines just broke, little bud break here. You can see throughout the property. I'd love to show you the rest of the vineyard at Grassini Family Vineyards. And so let's head over there. So we're gonna go over to Grassini Family Vineyards. The property was purchased in the 90s. It wasn't developed into land for wine until the early 2000s. They never thought that they were going to develop it as a winery or a vineyard. They always thought that it was just going to be land that they would eventually develop and live on. It turned into a very happy decision for the family. So 20 years ago they planted, or 25 years ago I believe they planted. And then since then, the first bottling was for the family's grandma, I believe her 80th birthday. And the wine was amazing. Everybody had the best time. We had a really fun time. And from there, that sort of decided the idea of the brand. It was all family, and it was all enjoying time together and having fun and being together. So now Grassini Family Vineyards is all estate grown. So everything that you taste from the vineyard is grown on the vineyard, and it's bottled on the vineyard. All of the water that they get for the vineyard is from the wells on the vineyard property and the La Tarantella property. So everything is on property. None of the water is brought in. They have Cabernet Sauvignon, they have Sauvignon Blanc, they have Merlot, Petit Verdot, all really beautiful styles of wine. To the left, this is what's so beautiful about Santa Ynez. Horses, cows, goats, all you can imagine. The vineyard is about 200 acres. Not all of it's planted. Those are all Grassini Family Vineyards vines. They have some vines planted at the top of the the property there as well. But as we drive into Grassini Family Vineyards, you'll see how beautiful and bucolic that property as well. Now we're entering Grassini Family Vineyards. Members come, they do tastings, little rowboats sometimes they take out, sort of very sweet. This property was developed first, so the winery building up here was built all of reclaimed wood, and that was built a couple years after the vineyard was established, and then the rest of the vines were planted. And this is another one of those sculptural oak trees that's so beautiful. Oh, good. You're getting married. Wonderful. Very nice.
Get the real star of the show.
Oh, geez, the real beauty. Hi. How are you?
Oh, I know. There he is. Right
His favorite daughter.
His
favorite child. Oh my gosh.
Goodness, we tried to stay out of your way.
No, you're good. Buddy. Careful as you go. Buddy, come here.
Come here.
Oh, good. As the sun sort of peeks out, I wanted to show you this sweet little moment. This is the pond for La Tarantella and Grassini Family Vineyards. Little rowboat here to have a romantic little trip in it. They have fish here. Oftentimes you'll catch some of the family members fishing, but it's just a really beautiful, calm space that connects the two spaces. Thank you so much for coming on this tour with me today of La Tarantella and Grassini Family Vineyards. I so enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the beautiful properties. If you'd like to reach out to me in my studio, I would love that. My website is CorinneMathern.com. You can reach out there. And make sure to follow the Luxury Home Show on YouTube because we'll have more tours for you in the future. Thank you. Have a great day.